day, St. Martin. I'm Yesenia Lassiter.
And I'm Alston Lawrence.
And welcome to another edition of St. Martin Newsdesk.
Brought to you by TV15.
We bring the latest and most important stories around the island and beyond.
It's Monday. Let's check out these top headlines.
Emile Levons named new COO of Princess Juliana International Airport. Princess Juliana International Airport has appointed longtime aviation professional Emile Levons as its new Chief Operating Officer. Born and raised in St. Martin, Levons has spent more than 2 decades at the airport, steadily advancing through leadership roles since joining the airport in 2003. His experience spans operations, security, and crisis management, including key recovery efforts following Hurricane Irma and maintaining seamless operations during the COVID-19 pandemic. As operations director since 2021, Levons oversaw major initiatives such as the Airport Drive-In Program and the Vision Box Border Management Project. Known for his pragmatic leadership and focus on operational excellence, he has earned the respect of colleagues across the organization. Airport CEO Michael Cleaver welcomed Levons to his new role, praising his expertise and commitment to the airport's success. Levons said he was honored by the appointment and pledged to continue strengthening the airport's operations and serving the St. Martin community. The promotion underscores PGIA's commitment to fostering local talent and investing in strong leadership for the future.
Unions stand with firefighters and ambulance workers in call for respect. Firefighters and ambulance workers in St. Martin have received strong backing from fellow unions as frustrations over staffing, safety, and working conditions reach a breaking point. NAPB St. Martin and ABVO St. Martin publicly declared solidarity with WICSU PSU, the union representing frontline emergency responders. Firefighters and paramedics stand shoulder to shoulder with us every day. Today we stand shoulder to shoulder with them, said NAPB President Marcus Pantaflet. ABVO President Charlene Catalina added, solidarity among public safety workers sends a clear message. We are united in our commitment to protect the public and each other. The support comes after a fiery Central Committee meeting where WICSU PSU President Sharon Kangita and members of the Fire and Ambulance Department recounted years of neglect and broken promises. Workers detailed grueling 24-hour shifts, a pay structure that drops to 25% for the last 8 hours, and a lack of recognition for decades of service. One firefighter warned, "We are tired. No more discussion, no more meetings. Let me see what's going to happen now." Paramedics echoed the sentiment, sharing stories of frustration and disillusionment. August 1st marked 22 years of service for me. Not a phone call, not a letter, nothing, said veteran ambulance worker Mr. Daniel. Kangita called the situation modern-day slavery and warned that the era of empty promises was over. Members of Parliament also weighed in. MP Lyndon Lewis stressed the government's responsibility, saying there should never be a price tag on life. To risk your life for the salaries we earn is disrespectful. MP Omar Otley highlighted the stalled ambulance legislation and other systematic failures, demanding immediate action. The unions made it clear that slowdowns and protests would continue until workers receive the respect, resources, and safe working conditions they deserve. The message to the government is stark. Frontline emergency responders will no longer be ignored, and public safety cannot wait any longer.
Roaming Minister Gumbs' defense stance on development calls for sustainability. Roaming Minister, the Honorable Patrice Gumbs, has rejected claims that he opposes construction projects, insisting his focus is on sustainable development rather than unchecked growth. Speaking at last week's Council of Ministers press briefing, Gumbs said denying permits has nothing to do with politics and everything to do with legal, zoning, and environmental requirements. Gumbs pointed to costly examples of poorly planned development, such as the Ebenezer hillside collapse that required nearly $500,000 in repairs. This is not about saying no to construction, he said. It's about building responsibly to prevent disasters and protect national resources. The minister acknowledged delays in processing permits, citing confusion over civil works permit requirements reinstated in 2021. A ministerial decree is being finalized to clarify when such permits are needed. Questions have also been raised about recent projects in Beacon Hill, where demolition permits were issued, but community groups claim new construction is moving forward without proper building approvals. Gumbs has pledged to review zoning laws, including height restrictions, and to ensure future decisions comply fully with the law. While his Party for Progress supported the return of civil works regulations, Gumbs said revisions are being prepared to strike a balance between protecting the environment and facilitating growth.
A new day begins. The sun rises over St. Martin, bringing new energy, new possibilities. This island was built on resilience, progress, and the strength of its people. Our connection is what moves us forward. It links our communities, our businesses, our families. From the heart of the island to the shores beyond, we've connected St. Martin. From every street to every home, this network was built for St. Martin by St. Martin hands. Connection isn't just about signals, it's about people. This is your island and your network recharged. Proudly local, we're here for today, tomorrow, and every milestone ahead.
Hey there, it's Mizzy with a Sunshine Report, straight out of Sunshine City, St. Martin, bringing you the warmth and the sunshine you need to kickstart your day. So let's dive into the forecast and see how the skies are treating us. The Met Department of St. Martin is keeping a sharp eye on the Atlantic, ready to update you with the latest. So don't forget to follow Newsdesk on Facebook for your daily Sunshine Report. So as you enjoy your week, stay safe, stay friendly, Sunshine City.
It's hurricane season. Are you prepared? Here are a few tips to remember to help keep you and your family safe. If you're not in an area that is advised to evacuate and you decide to stay in your home, plan for adequate supplies in case you lose power and water for several days and you're not able to leave due to flooding or blocked roads. This hurricane season, make a family emergency communication plan. This public service announcement was brought to you by the government of St. Martin. The Ministry of Vromi, Department of Infrastructure Management, together with the Police Department KPSM, is making changes to traffic on a section of Cari-Aire Street and Manzanella Stake, Phillipsburg. The Cari-Aire Street from the intersection with Percy LaBega Street to Manzanella Stake will now be a one-way street. Inbound traffic can enter Cari-Aire Street from Percy LaBega Street and drive straight ahead or turn left into Manzanella Stake. Outbound traffic leaving town on Cari-Aire Street must make a right turn onto Manzanella Stake. Entry further into the Cari-Aire Street will no longer be permitted. Outbound traffic exiting Manzanella Stake onto Walton Nisbet Road can either make a right or left-hand turn. The Ministry of Vromi, Department of Infrastructure Management, and the Police Department would like to thank the public for their attention to this change. Please follow the new traffic rules and signage and drive safely.
Cari-Aire internship program celebrates milestones in The Hague. St. Martin's Minister Plenipotentiary Dr. Anders Gracita Arendel hosted the second Cari-Aire Hello Goodbye event in The Hague on August 21st, marking the conclusion of the pilot phase of the Cari-Aire internship program. The event celebrated the achievements of the first group of interns while welcoming the new cohort, set to gain practical experience in aviation across St. Martin, Seba, and Poneo. Former interns and supervisors shared insights, highlighting the program's impact on career development and regional aviation expertise. Minister Arendel emphasized the importance of investing in young talent, saying the initiative offers students valuable knowledge and experience for the future of our Caribbean. She welcomed the incoming interns, noting their participation demonstrates the program's value across all 6 Dutch Caribbean islands. The program, a collaboration between the Netherlands Ministry of Infrastructure and Water Management, Caribbean Aviation Authorities, and the We Connect Foundation, aims to strengthen regional aviation expertise while fostering ties between the Caribbean and the Netherlands. The evening concluded with a celebratory toast, networking, and group photos, underlying the ongoing commitment to nurturing youth and enhancing the Caribbean's aviation sector.
Application open for UNESCO World Cultural Heritage Youth Symposium. Student ages 15 to 24 can now apply to represent St. Martin at the 7th World Cultural Heritage Youth Symposium, taking place in Athens, Greece, from April 22nd to 26th, 2026. The event will be held under the theme World Heritage in Young Hands. The annual symposium, organized in connection with the World Day for Cultural Diversity, focuses on raising cultural awareness and fostering respect among young people while supporting global education goals. Earlier this year, 4 St. Martin students, Jean-Marc Augusti, Jafier Marlin, Ido Williams, and Shiloh Bedminster, attended the symposium under the theme Arts and Cultural Heritage. They shared St. Martin's culture with international peers and will present their experiences to local organizations in the coming weeks. Applications for next year's delegation close on September 19, 2025. Interested students can email sxmyouthcouncil@gmail.com, marcelia.henry@stmartingov.org, or symcaprojects@gmail.com, or contact their school administration for details.
SXM voices St. Martin's call for decolonization at CARIFESTA 15. The One St. Martin Association, One SXM, will represent the island at CARIFESTA 15 in Barbados, joining a regional dialogue on decolonization and reparations. Invited by the Caribbean Reparations Committee, One St. Martin President Dr. Rhoda Arendel will deliver St. Martin's perspective during a panel titled Freedom Isn't Finished, Reflections on the Caribbean's Unfinished Historical Mission. The discussion will be held on August 27 at the Marcus Garvey Amphitheater, featuring representatives from the British Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico, the U.S. Virgin Islands, and Trinidad and Tobago. Arundel, a leading reparations advocate and author, will highlight the need for full regional decolonization and unity. The panel formed will be part of CARIFESTA's Big Conversation series, designed to spotlight critical issues and guide the region's cultural and artistic future. The festival also featured the revised CARICOM 10-point plan for reparations, along with symposia bringing together artists, scholars, and cultural leaders to explore themes such as climate justice, Caribbean spirituality, and cultural identity. CARIFESTA 15, held from August 22nd to 31st under the theme Caribbean Roots, Global Excellence, opened with a parade of nations, remarks by Barbados Prime Minister Mia Mottley, and a major concert celebrating Caribbean culture and its global influence.
Let's put everything on the table. People always give their opinion, and you can either take it or crunch it. Let them judge. We give in to the most irresistible flavor. We devour every nugget that falls in our hands, especially when it's our crunchy fried chicken. And let the crumbs fly if needed. Let them keep judging. We'll keep indulging. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
You could talk to your family, talk to your friends. Affordability and convenience. Community connection, that makes sense. Reliability with experience. Hey, for every laugh, every adventure, number one provider, they got ya. We tell them your data is always on. You can opt out whenever you want. Tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want to roll. Control my data, yeah, yeah, yeah. Always connected every time, everywhere. Money low, but I never fair. I know, tell them it's there. Connectivity, that's what I like. Flexibility, that's what I like. Reliability, that's what I like. Tell them, sign me up for life. Tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Come tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want to go. Come tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want to road.
Guess what? I got an idea. It's amazing. You see how we have the link sharing all everywhere?
QR link,
the
yeah.
QR link.
Yeah.
Raw Caribbean Channel app. Yeah. You're welcome. Put it in the back.
But it's not an app though. It's not an app. App, you have to like download something to get it on your phone, take up space. It's not an app.
It's like an app. Therefore, it can be an app. So, it's an app. Raw Caribbean TV app. Say it with me, Al. Come on.
It's not an app though. All you gotta do with that, it's a link. You take the link, you hit the bookmark, you say add to home screen, and so it shows up like an app icon, but it's not an app though.
Are you a real person? It is an app because you get to watch all the programs from Raw Caribbean at one place. It is an app.
I don't know how to explain this to you, but factually and technically, it's not an app. Kind of like we do the news, facts,
Yeah.
and you do that thing you do.
Whoa.
Point being, you just go to the QR, you hit bookmarks, and you hit add to home screen, and then you can have the link to, let's give it another name.
The app.
You want to call it the app?
Raw Caribbean TV app.
Jess.
Yes.
Jess, please, give some sense, Jess. Jess.
It's kind of like an app.
That's why she gets the big bucks.
It's not an app, though. It's not a app. What the It's not a app.
You kiss your mother with her mouth? My God. Watch Raw Caribbean TV app.
Watch Raw Caribbean TV app.
Yes.
It's not an app, though.
Welcome to our Newsdesk featured story. Electricity bills on St. Martin have been rising sharply, leaving families and businesses struggling to keep up. Months of investigations, debates, and promises have yet to produce concrete relief. But now, government is weighing a direct household subsidy to ease the pressure. As public frustration mounts, the question is, will this plan finally deliver results?
Prime Minister the Honorable Dr. Luke Mercelina told Parliament this week that government is exploring a household-based subsidy applied directly to electricity bills. The program, still under discussion with the Minister of Finance, could last 6 to 12 months and begin as soon as December 1st. To qualify, households would need to be current on their electricity payments or have an agreement in place, ensuring that relief goes to the responsible customers. Mercelina said this approach is broader than the plan offered by utility company NVGEBE, which proposed about 50,000 guilders per month in aid, roughly 600,000 guilders per year for only 250 vulnerable clients. The suffering is not only the vulnerable group, Mercelina told Parliament. The hardworking firemen, the nurses, and teachers are all encountering this. That's why we came with this proposal. This new idea comes after months of frustration. Last year, the government commissioned the Bureau of Telecommunication and Post and RAC consultants to review electricity rates. Their 40-page report recommended a 6 to 7 cent reduction per kilowatt hour. Modest, but meaningful relief for households. Yet GEBE questioned the findings and delayed action, insisting on conducting its own internal review. Mercelina has called these delays unacceptable. He says relief should have been resolved yesterday and has pressed GEBE to deliver accurate bills, control costs, and act on the consultant's recommendations. To ensure transparency, government has asked the Bureau of Telecommunications and Post to serve as an independent regulator to verify GB's invoices, and artificial intelligence tools are being considered to help reorganize the utility. Meanwhile, Parliament has tried to push relief forward. In June, lawmakers approved a motion by MP Omar Otley requesting a 1-year exemption of turnover tax on heavy fuel, oil, and diesel imported for GEBE. The motion also urged government to address the so-called double taxation being passed on to consumers through the fuel clause. But months later, the Finance Ministry has yet to implement these measures, even though Mercelina has clarified that fuel used by GEBE is already exempt from turnover tax, exposing what he called false narratives that have distracted from real solutions. GEBE's challenges go beyond pricing. The 2022 ransomware attack crippled its billing system and contributed to service disruptions and load shedding through late 2024. Since then, residents and businesses have faced soaring bills, uncertain invoices, and few answers. For Mercelina, the new subsidy plan is an attempt to break the stalemate. He says the government is committed to standing with the people of St. Martin while ensuring fairness and accountability. However, critics point out that existing laws already give ministers the authority to grant certain tax exemptions without lengthy studies, and they question why immediate steps have not yet been taken. The people of St. Martin are tired of waiting, tired of excuses, one parliamentary statement read earlier this year. Every day of delay deepens the suffering of households and businesses.
If approved, the household-based subsidy could bring relief by the holiday season, but it will require swift action from both government and GB to meet that deadline. With energy costs weighing heavily on the entire community, residents are demanding more than words. They want real solutions delivered now. Newsdesk will continue to track these developments and keep you updated as decisions are made in the coming weeks. That's all the time we have for today's edition of St. Martin Newsdesk.
Thank you for joining us. Remember, new episodes premiere every weekday at 8 a.m. on TV 15 and then across all social media platforms. I'm also Lawrence.
And I'm Juliana Lassiter, wishing you an amazing and productive week. See you next time.
As a matter of fact, see you tomorrow and stay friendly. St. Martin.